Yo, what's going on everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explain here, bringing you guys another Boruto Naruto Next Generations discussion on the fallout from Boruto chapter 76, and today we're going to be looking over one of the things casually dropped into the manga chapter that looks like it's about to be explored later on in the upcoming chapters, which is Momoshiki revealed that Ada's power of control over hearts wasn't Shinjutsu by Shibai, but was something completely different entirely. And in today's video, we're going to explain how the Boruto anime actually dropped major foreshadowing and a clear line as to what Ada's powers actually are and where the origins for them actually come from. Now, longtime viewers of the channel and fans of the Boruto anime who've watched both the anime and read the manga know that this is not the first time that the anime has foreshadowed or directly explained something that wasn't touched on in depth in the manga, or in some cases like Code having a karma seal, it wasn't even foreshadowed in the manga before we actually saw it in the anime in terms of the foreshadowing being shown. Well, this power of Ada's is taking a very similar stance where the anime is drawing lines and it's connecting the dots together for something that the manga has played its cards very close to the chest on, which, for a point of reference, Naruto's anime didn't have to do this because Naruto's manga was extremely fleshed out, but the Boruto franchise is taking a little bit of a different approach, and that ties directly into what Ada's powers are. So if we take Amado's explanation, Ada's Semigon powers, to see all things in the present and in the past up to 16 years ago when she was born, is part of Shibai Otsutsuki's divine power known as Shinjutsu. However, he also said her ability to control hearts of those who aren't blood relatives or Otsutsuki is also a divine power. And when he said this, Momoshiki stepped in and told Boruto that while some of what Amado said was true, this was just a flat out lie. Since then, Momoshiki has been watching everything going on in the background from within Boruto, and in the last chapter, he chuckled when he told Boruto that he finally figured out what Ada's powers are, and before Boruto could go further and press Momoshiki to tell him everything that he figured out, Kawaki figured out the two of them were talking and demanded that Momoshiki show himself. Now, you might say, what does that have to do with the anime? Which various websites and people online have all taken to saying the anime is all filler, and you have people skipping episodes despite more than one instance of stuff like Code's karma seal being teased in the anime. Well, in the last episode that aired for 2022, during the moment where Olga's true identity was revealed to actually be Yatsumi in disguise, the young woman who Boruto had been taking part in those death games with, Olga was revealed to be the 8th card inner member, which was teased in the anime opening back in 2020 for Boruto opening 7, where we saw that there were 8 card inner members gathered with only visible facial markers of Jigen, Delta, Boro, and Kashin Koji being shown, and Victor's cane was shown to us. However, there are 3 other car inner members who we didn't see. Code wasn't shown, but we know Code was a car inner, and neither was Deepa, who will be revealed later on in the anime. And now we know that Olga wasn't there. However, here's the significance in Olga. In the anime episode, it was directly revealed to us that she was one of the humans who were experimented on by Amado, but unlike the other car inner members, she wasn't a monster who was bloodlusted to a point where she lost her humanity like an absolute savage. Olga said that when she was augmented by Amado in different ways than the other car inners who were modified purely for combat, but Olga was modified to the point where her brain was changed so that she could be used by Amado to help him with his research. However, the line to Ada comes in the next reveal that we got here. Olga reveals that Amado was researching the human heart as a part of his scientific research, and when Olga tried to research Jigen's heart, that's when Jigen literally shoved a chakra rod into her skull and did major damage to her brain. There's a reason why this is so telling. Amado was researching the human heart for an unknown reason. We have Ada, who just happens to have had her body augmented by Amado into a cyborg, and she just happens to have the power to control human hearts. Amado was looking into research about Jigen's heart. Jigen, someone who, due to Ishiki's karma seal, was now 100% Otsutsuki genetically, and that's a red flag, and I'll explain to you why. Ada's powers of controlling hearts, they don't work on Otsutsuki, and technically Jigen wasn't Otsutsuki because of the karma seal overriding his human genetics. Amado's goal was to make cyborgs physically strong enough to kill Jigen, and he accomplished that because he made several humans into cyborgs with power beyond Jigen, which is a feat in itself. However, the fact that he reached a ceiling for how strong he can make humans through biomechanical nanotech upgrades, it didn't stop him, which brings us to Ada and Olga's research. If Amado's plan had worked and his cyborgs killed Jigen, your big problem comes with hoping that the combined power of multiple cyborgs stronger than Jigen but weaker than Ishiki by using their collective hacks abilities can actually bring down Ishiki or outlast him long enough to have his body break down so he can't give himself a new karma by placing it onto Kawaki. That's a lot of room for chance, and Amado has shown himself to be someone who plans all the way until the end, and leaving things to chance isn't something he does unless it's absolutely necessary, i.e. like he did when he defected to Konoha and prayed to Lady 1010 that Ishiki would be defeated. However, based off of what we can see from the anime reveal that we got, his full plan is right at our fingertips here and we can piece it together. Amado knew that he had a wall with those cyborgs that couldn't take down Ishiki once Jigen was killed. So if you can't physically destroy him or even stop him, you have to find some type of way to stop him. Sealing jutsu is irrelevant because we've seen more than once in the Naruto manga that sealing jutsu can be overpowered if there's a big enough power gap between the caster or the jutsu and the hack's nature of the sealing jutsu and the person who's breaking out of the sealing jutsu itself. However, that's why Amado had Olga looking into the heart of an Otsutsuki. If you can figure out how the heart of an Otsutsuki works and how it's different from a normal human heart, then you can modify Ada's powers accordingly. He couldn't run research on Kawaki because he was slowing the progression of Kawaki's karma seal and the extraction of Otsutsuki genetics, so he couldn't wait until Kawaki became 100% Otsutsuki because by then it would have been too late. Jigen would have fed himself to the 10 tails and then Ishiki would have been revived into Kawaki's body. However, if he was able to learn about Jigen's heart, then he would have been able to control Ishiki and he would have been able to get his wish granted to revive his dead daughter. This feels like it's the Amado thing to do, and him lying about a power like this makes a lot of sense. Because if Shikamaru hears that the Semigon is a power that is God-given, but the control power isn't something that came from a god, he's gonna demand that Amado hand over the blueprints to that ninja tech that made that power so they can find a way to negate it, because Ada's power makes her a security risk. I'm fairly certain Momoshiki figured out Ada's power is something cooked up by Amado. It explains the smug expression he had because Momoshiki said more than once that Amado's lying and couldn't be trusted. This just further proves his skepticism is correct, and there's a chance Momoshiki has found a weakness to it as well, or he's just amused that Amado made something like this and had the audacity to try passing it off as being something Otsutsuki clan related. If this does end up turning out to be the case, like say Code's karma seal was foreshadowed in the anime before we saw it in the manga, then it makes you look at Amado differently in the sense that there's more about his ninja tech than he's actually letting on, but it also confirms what Ada called Amado out on, which is that Amado makes messes to clean them up and take credit for them, and he hides his lies behind mixing in the truth, which is very fitting because again, Naruto was a manga that stressed a ninja must see past deception, and this is why she said that Amado was at least telling the truth about his dead daughter, implying that she, like Momoshiki, felt like Amado was lying about everything else. That being said, I'm curious to know you guys' thoughts on this. While you think that over, click here to watch my latest Naruto Explained video, or click here to watch my Chainsaw Man chapter 116 video.